Lueroi's Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver Walkthrough, Part 38. Hello, boys and girls, kids, teenagers, adults, and creepy old guys that still play Pokemon. Welcome back, and this time we're heading into the Ecruteak Dance Theater, because last time we got our Master Ball from Professor Elm, and he told us to head here and take on the Kimono Girls. Well, he just told us they needed to talk to us, and check this out! It's our rival Ginger. He just, slams into us, and then basically, he's going to tell you that he took on the Kimono Girls, but then he got beat to a pulp, so he's all mad and he's going to run away. And he's like, don't get all cocky because you beat Team Rocket. I'm like, I have every right to be cocky because I've not only beaten Team Rocket, but I've beaten you like 20 times. So yeah, somehow the fact that he lost to the Kimono Girls doesn't really make them any more threatening, but yeah, here are the Kimono Girls. There's 5 of them. And this one's going to talk to you. Basically, what you got to do here is you got to fight all 5 of these Kimono Girls back to back to back to back to back with no healing in between. So it's basically like one long, intense fight, because they all have like one Pokemon. So you're basically fighting like one giant team of Kimono Girls. So she'll actually give you the option yes or no if you're ready. So make sure you're completely healed up because, like I said, there's no healing, so you want to be prepared. Now, they all use evolutions, so you're going to find, like, Umbreon, Espeon, Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. Umbreon's a dark type, so I'm just going with Heracross. Give it a nice swift Brick Break, which is super effective, and wow, a critical hit! So, that was easy! Umbreon actually isn't that hard because it's more defensive, it's not really that threatening offensively. Wow, that was really easy. Usually what it does is it will confuse you, and then use stuff like Dark Pulse or Shadow Ball. So really kind of an annoyance Pokemon, but not too bad if you have a fighting type move. Or even like a bug type move works well. Just don't send in like a psychic type. Alright, so next up is the Kimono Girl that we met in the Ilex Forest. Now, this girl actually has an Espeon on her team, so in my opinion she's like the toughest one. Well, at least the toughest for my team, because I have 2 Pokemon that are weak to Psychic, and nothing that resists Psychic. And Espeon pretty much uses the move Psychic over and over and over, which is very powerful. Now, unfortunately, I'm forced to stick with Dim because you can't change your starter Pokemon. So I'm actually going to switch out, and instead of just letting Heracross die, I will let my HM Slave die. So there you go, Krabby. You get to go take a Psychic and basically just take one for the team here. So Krabby's going to die a painful death, but it's for a good cause. So now I get a free switch in. And I'm actually going to go to Crobat. Basically, I guess my strategy will be I'll try confusing it and then using Bite. So, that should work pretty well, because when you're confused, you only have a 50% chance of attacking, and Bite has a 30% chance of flinching, so it gives me pretty good odds. Now, please hit yourself. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, though, I am weak to Psychic, so if it gets one attack off, I am dead. So hopefully we can get some flinches with Bite or something. I mean, I have pretty good odds here. Alright, hopefully you hit yourself. And you didn't! Alright, so Crobat's gonna die. And unfortunately, he will be done for the rest of the Kimono fights. Which is kind of unfortunate, because it'd be nice to have a really fast Pokemon, but oh well. Alright, so on to Plan B. Let's see. We will go to you, Herbie, because you could probably take a Psychic. And I can finish off Espeon here, so... Oh wow, you're already snapped out of confusion. So yeah, pretty much all it does is uses Psychic over and over and over. If you have like a Steel type, that'll work pretty well. A Dark type will work the best, but yeah, I'm using Frenzy Plant here just to be sure I can get the knockout. But yeah, Espeon is annoying. Espeon will either be very difficult or very easy depending on your team, but no matter what, those Psychics are just going to be powerful. Most people might have a bit more trouble with the Jolteon later on, but we'll get to that later. This lady here has the Flareon on her team. So yeah, this person, I forget where she came from, but all these Kimono Girls we met earlier on in the game, like you guys know that throughout the game we've been finding these people. And they're kind of all, you know, coming together as a group now to challenge us, but they'll actually help us later on, so... Anyways, I'm forced to use Heracross. I'm just going to use a Brick Break and try to get some damage on it. This thing likes to use Fire Blast and Will-O-Wisp, so, I mean, Flareon's normally not too threatening, but it's got a pretty good move pool. Fire Blast is extremely powerful, probably knock out Heracross. And oh my god, did you see that? A giant ant just, well, not a giant ant, it just looked giant, but an ant just crawled across the screen. Wow, that's hilarious. You know what would be awesome if, like, the still frame for the video is, like, that clip right there of the ant crawling over the camera? I've actually been noticing that ant crawling all over my camera. I was like, hopefully it doesn't go across the lens. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to Rocky right now. As you can see, it used its Will-O-Wisp, which burned me, but I'm still able to knock it out. So there we go. I mean, this is essentially just one big fight with all 5 of these Pokemon on the opposite team. Only it's a bit harder because you don't have that option of switching. And yeah, right now I'm learning Earthquake, guys, and I'm kind of distracted because this ant keeps crawling everywhere. But Earthquake is an awesome ground-type move. Pretty much one of the most reliable moves in the game. Good accuracy, doesn't miss unless your accuracy gets lowered. Very powerful. Perfect move to teach Golem. So I got rid of Magnitude, and now we have a bit more reliable ground-type move. So this person here, I believe, is the girl with the Jolteon. And hopefully this ant doesn't keep crawling. This is, like, creeping me out. It's like, oh, gosh. Random ants crawling over. There's, like, 2 of them now. Jeez. Yeah, anyways, the Jolteon is very difficult if you don't have a ground type. Luckily for me, I can't do much, but it knows the move Double Team, so it's going to boost up its evasion. And then on top of that, it has, like, Thunderbolt and Thunder Wave. So what it will try to do is paralyze you and then boost up its evasion, which makes it very difficult to get hits on. But if you have a ground type, you can pretty much just wall it. And yeah, this burn halves my attack, that's why Earthquake didn't kill it, but oh well. Then I think its last move is like Last Resort, so Last Resort, if it's used all 3 of its other moves, it can use Last Resort and it'll do a bunch of damage, but I don't even need to worry about that because it's not even going to use Thunderbolt or anything, so pretty much all it's going to do is use Double Team. And at some point, the Earthquake will hit it, and yeah, there we go. I mean, it's kind of astonishing that an Earthquake would miss. Like, how can you possibly avoid an Earthquake if you're right in the middle of it? I don't know, whatever. But yeah, down goes Jolteon. Jolteon probably could give you the most trouble if you don't have a ground type on your team. Yeah, don't be afraid to use your X accuracies against that thing. We actually got one in the last video, so if you're following me step by step, you'll have some X accuracies. So this is the final person. I think we saw her in the Goldenrod Tunnel. I think that's what she said. Or something like that. I don't know, but she's the one with the Vaporeon. We'll see how we do against this thing. It's pretty tough. It has, like, Surf and Aurora Beam, and it's an overall good defensive Pokemon, so let's see. I'm going to switch out because there's no point in letting Golem die, because I think Lantern can probably take care of this thing. So we'll try using Charge Beam. And yeah, it knows Surf, which won't do a ton of damage. Alright, so this thing actually has good special defense, so it could be a long and drawn-out battle. Yeah, pretty much just use a Surf over and over, so if you have anything that can resist water types, that'll probably do a pretty good job against this thing. Like a Grass type, for instance, but it does know Aurora Beam, so be careful. It does have an Ice type move. Alright, special attack boost, and I could use, like, my stockpile and boost up my defenses and confuse it, you know, just to give it trouble and be sure to knock it out, but I might as well just keep using Charge Beam. I mean, I don't really want to waste my time with all that stuff, so I'll just see if Lantern can knock it out. I still have my Meganium, so I'm not really worried about it. So yeah, I'm pretty much fine here. But yeah, overall, these Kimono Girls are definitely challenging. Probably could be the most challenging part of the game so far, depending on how you handle the gym leaders, but definitely very tough. You gotta be sure you're healed up, and yeah, all these Pokemon are level 38, so pretty tough. Just come in prepared, you know what you're gonna face, and have an idea of how you're gonna match up against these things. I don't know why I just used Quick Attack. Hopefully it uses Quick Attack again so I can kill it. Oh, you're probably gonna kill me with a Surf. Alright, so we can always go to Meganium and finish it off. So Aqua Volt goes down, and wow, pretty much like half my team's dead. But luckily we still have Herbie, who can probably outspeed it and get the kill, so there we go, Petal Dance. And down goes the Vaporeon. I mean, all I have to say is that this is 20 times harder than it was in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Back then, when you originally came to Ecruteak, you would fight these Kimono Girls one by one, so you could go and heal. And they would only have their Pokemon at level 17. Now they're, like, way more powerful. And of course, you have to fight them all in a row without healing, so... Yeah, when you finally beat them, if you're lucky enough to do it, you will get the title bell, and then you'll hear this, like, loud sound, and this girl runs in, she's like, Big Sisters, I just saw a big shadow from the Whirl Islands. And my only question is, if you're, like, way over in the Whirl Islands, how could you possibly have, like, seen that from way over there? I mean, that's, like, miles away. How could you have noticed a shadow from miles away? I don't know, confusing, who knows. Anyways, pretty much what we gotta deal with next is the legendary bird, Lugia. So... we have defeated the Kimono Girls, and we can finally go to the Whirl Islands to take on the legendary beast, Lugia.